Hi everyone, I'm Liz and welcome back to Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch for the very first episode of the untitled Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch show. Well, hello. That's right. I didn't think of a name yet. It's been a week since my last video, and I just want to say a big thank you. Thank you for all the love and support on that video. I just apparently had some things I wanted to get off my chest and wanted to just, you know, set some boundaries as like a healthy human adult. And that way I can just feel good about not engaging with some of the questions and things that come my way that I don't want to answer because, I don't know, I always feel bad when somebody asks me a question and I think, obviously I feel like they mean well most of the time. And so, but sometimes it's just not something I'm comfortable talking about. So I think just moving forward for my own personal sanity, it'll just make me feel better about just ignoring and not engaging with some of the comments and questions that I don't want to. So yeah, thank you all so much for your support of me and for enjoying the videos that I put out. I really appreciate the excitement about the return to the weekly format. So we're here, we're doing it. It has been a week. It was a busy work week, so I didn't really get to think as much about this format as I want, and I decided it doesn't matter. I'm here, I'm gonna show you what I've been up to, and we're gonna do all the things, and you know, I'll think of a name and segment names and maybe my new logo. I had in my head like, oh, I'm gonna create a new logo and I'm gonna have like branding and like I'm gonna think of a cool kitschy name, and you know, maybe at some point I will, but for now we're here to talk about the crafts. Also, I have a very special guest in this episode. It's probably in the title, it's probably in the thumbnail. It's my mom. She came by today to catch us up on everything she's been working on for the last 7 months since we've seen her. Not everything, that would be crazy, but she hit all of the highlights and it was really fun. So I'll show you that in a minute, but first we'll start with what I have been up to for the last week. There is a really excellent crafty podcast that I have watched for probably 4 or 5 years now called Craft House Magic. And it's like the best title. Like, can I just be Craft House Magic Part 2? Because I love that title. But she has a section that she calls What's Occurring, but like in a Welsh accent.
Oh, what's occurring?
Because it's from this British show called Gavin and Stacey that I'm also obsessed with. It never aired in the US, so unless you like really enjoy British TV, you probably haven't heard of it. But anyways, I kind of want to name this my What's Occurring section, but I also want to steal her podcast name, so I can't just totally rip off Ellie, who is lovely. And if you like knitting, crochet, clothes sewing, cross stitch, if you enjoy this channel, you would also probably really enjoy Craft House Magic. So I'll link her down below. I feel like she's a little bit my inspiration for my channel right now. Yeah. Anyways, what's occurring? What's been going on for the last week? I've done a little bit of cross stitch and a little bit of knitting. So let's start with the cross stitch. First up, I have been working on my garden sampler by Carriage House Samplings. I am just fully obsessed and I don't really want to put this away. I really want this to be done like in the next few weeks. I am 47% done according to Markup. And yeah, I think I could possibly get this done. I think I have about 6,000 stitches left, which I feel like I could do over the next couple of weeks, 3 weeks. I don't know. We'll see. I just don't want to put this one away. The way it comes to life with all the letters and all the little motifs is so pretty, and it's just kind of all I want to work on right now. So that's what I've been stitching on. Let me show you my progress. Okay, here is where we're at. Oh, it's so good. I think I did about 1,000 stitches this week, and it was mostly like this big giant eggplant, and I started the sun and filled in some of this. Yeah. I am stitching mine on 36 count Picture this plus doubloon, took me a second, with the Roxy Floss conversion. And it's not even really the original Roxy Floss conversion that I think Hannah at Evertote did for Lauren, the New Hampshire stitcher, because some of the flosses were discontinued and I've made some substitutions. So it's just very much my own Roxy Floss conversion at this point. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I mean, it's, you know, based on the one that Hannah pulled, but yeah, I've made some changes. And I'm using 1 strand of floss over 2 linen threads. And I'm absolutely obsessed with this. And speaking of markup, I have gotten a lot of questions about the app and how to use it. And I am definitely not an expert. I am a beginner with the app, but I thought it might be fun if I give you guys a little look at the app and kind of introduce some of you to it if you're not familiar with it. And yeah, let's just do that right now. I was going to launch into knitting and crochet, but let's wrap up the cross stitch section with like a little brief look at Markup RXP. Okay, so to be honest, I didn't even look to see if Markup is available on Android. Maybe I'll double check that and I'll put that info on the screen somewhere. But I use it because Pattern Keeper, which is a similar app, is not available on iPad. And so I have an iPad. I didn't really want to buy like an Android tablet just so I could use Pattern Keeper. And so I just never downloaded Pattern Keeper. And then when I heard about Markup, which was available on iPad and did similar things, I was very into it. And so I've been trying it out. I've been using it now for maybe about 3 months and really, really enjoying it. So I thought I would just show you what it looks like and how I use it. So I'm going to flip over to the screen recording and let you guys see what it looks like. Okay, so this is the app right here, Markup RXP. And this is kind of what the dashboard screen looks like. And you have a little file for each one of the charts you're working on. So you can see I have several Deadly Aquarium files in here because they come out as individual parts. And then I have things like my skipjack sampler in the library, my garden sampler, the new Liz Matthews Seaside sampler. So you can see my little kind of like workbook of charts. And I'm going to show you what it looks like to import a new chart, and I'm going to use a freebie. That way I can show you like what the chart and everything looks like. So you come down here to add new project, and I'm going to add a PDF. And I'm going to come in here to my cross stitch folder. I store all of my PDFs using iCloud Drive on like across all of my Apple devices, so that way I can see all of my patterns across my phone, my iPad, my computer, etc. So where you store your patterns might be different, but this is how I store mine. And so I have a cross stitch folder. And so I'm going to come down to this Create Everyday freebie, which is a freebie from Teresa Kogut. I'll link it down in the description box. And so we're going to create a new markup project with this freebie. And so the first thing it says to do is select the pages that have the chart on them. This is a 1-page freebie, so it's very easy. So that's selected. So I'm going to say next. And then what page is the key on? The key is on the same page because everything's on one page. And then picture pages. This would be like if your PDF had a front cover image that shows you like what the finished design would look like, something like this, like just like the cover page. This doesn't have anything like that. So again, I'm just going to pick the 1 page for the picture page. And it's telling me there's no symbols detected. That's okay. We'll fix that in the next step. And so it's created this new project over here, and we're going to open it. Okay, so here is what our kind of first view looks like in Markup. And so I'm going to zoom in here and look at the chart and make sure the grid looks lined up. It does. And so now what I want to do, well, let's go over, so on the bottom you can see we have markup, key, pictures, and info. So I'm going to go over to the key. That's not the right key. So let's do add. And so I'm going to highlight over here. I'm going to move this little box, and I'm going to highlight the key on the page. And I'm going to say done. Okay, so now I'm gonna see if the Markup app can detect my symbols. And so I'm gonna click this symbol indicator in the center. And I'm just going, well, first I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. So you have these symbols up across the top. One is for marking up your stitches once you've completed them. One of them is for highlighting symbols, and one of them is for zooming around the page. So I kind of always leave everything in this pan zoom mode for when I'm, you know, zooming around. And so then I'm going to select the symbol, and I'm going to highlight one of these squares. And you can see that most of them are selected, but notice how some of these are not highlighted in yellow here. So I'm going to turn on the symbol detection a little bit higher, and I'm going to use that zoom out button to make sure that all of these little black squares are highlighted and recognized as one single symbol. And it looks like they are. Great. Okay, so this symbol we know should be DMC 611 according to the chart. So up at the top here where you see the little square symbol, you'll see it says no color. So we're going to go ahead, So we're going to go ahead and define what this square is by tapping in here and tapping in 611. And selecting that. Okay, so now you'll see that the markup symbol is now the color of DMC 611. So what that means is if we zoom in and we hit markup and we start highlighting our symbols, you can see that they've highlighted in this brown color. Oops, undo. So if you zoom out, you can kind of see how it's highlighting brown around those square symbols. So that's what allows you to like highlight the stitches that you've completed and keep track of your progress. So I'm going to go ahead and unhighlight those just because I haven't actually stitched those. Okay, so let's work on the rest of our symbols. We've got the most of the symbols on this chart set. It's the big square. Those are DMC 611. We also have this little circle symbol, so I'm going to highlight that. And I'm going to zoom out and make sure all the circles are highlighted. Yep, perfect. And those are DMC 3024. So again, I'm going to click on this little no color symbol and type, oh, oops, I forgot what the color is already. What did I say it was? 3024. 3024. There we go. And now you can see it highlighted in that light gray color. And again, if I was going to start marking things off, you can see it fill in light gray. So nice. Okay, and then we have this little in symbol. So I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to highlight the in. And again, let me zoom out and make sure all the ends are selected. Yep, there's just a few of them. Okay, and those ends should be color 221. Oh, actually no. So look, right here you can see a couple of these ends weren't selected. So I'm going to turn up the detection sensitivity and see if it captures them. Yep, it does. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to change that color to 221. And now we have all of our symbols highlighted. So what that means is if we zoom out, there's a little button in the bottom right. Oh, it's not giving me, usually there's a preview button. So I'm not totally an expert on this app, so I'm not sure why the preview button is missing, but interesting. I wonder if it's something about how I have the project set up. Well, okay, so I'm not going to be able to solve the issue, but on most of my purchased charts that I've bought off Etsy or direct from designers, the PDFs are created in a way that import really easily into this app. I'm doing some more manual manipulation with this freebie because I think it's just not formatted quite the same way as most paid for PDFs. But obviously I didn't want to show you a paid for pattern on the screen, so I'm using a freebie. But I think you can get the sense of like what you can kind of do with it. So I'm going to zoom in and I'm just going to go ahead and use the markup tool to mark off some stitches. Oops. So you can mark off stitches freehand, but if you highlight a symbol, when you go into the markup tool, it will only let you mark off symbols or only let you mark off stitches using that symbol, which is really handy. So that way you can't like color outside the lines basically. So I'm just going to highlight a bunch of stitches. Like I've been stitching a ton. Let's just see. Because the main symbol is that big black square, it's really hard to see that I've actually colored in these stitches, but I guess you can see it when you really zoom in. It just kind of depends on the chart. Like obviously, actually here, I'll come over to the needle stitches because those will be much easier to see when I've highlighted them. And then you zoom out. And now you can kind of see how that needle is highlighted gray, right? So, and then the really handy thing is on the bottom where you have markup, key, pictures, and info. If you go over to info, this is where it's going to tell you, okay, I have 1,972 total stitches. I have marked, meaning I have stitched 184. I have 1,788 still to do, and I am 9.33% completed. And it gives you all these handy stats. It also shows you a breakdown by day. So if you're working on a big project, it'll show you like how many stitches per day, what you're averaging, what your estimated date to completion, just like all these handy stats. I mean, handy, I don't know. Fun to look at, yes. I'm just really getting started with this, and I just wanted to give everybody a little bit of a look at this. There are way more things you can do, especially in this settings menu. You can change the colors that your symbols are highlighted. Like right now it's just default to yellow. So like this unmarked symbol color. So like you can change it to, I don't know, we'll change it to blue. Okay. And then in here, if you highlight a symbol, oh wait, oh, that was, see, I don't even know what I'm doing sometimes. That was the wrong one. Symbol search color, sorry, this color. So let's change it there. And then look, you can see how everything is now highlighted in purple. So if, you know, you don't like yellow, you can change that color. There's just a lot of things you could do with this. So I wanted to give everybody a look at it because I keep getting a lot of questions and I'm definitely not an expert. There are a lot of videos that Markup R-XP themselves have put out about how to use their app. So I would highly recommend those videos. I will try and find one and link it for you. And it is a paid for app, but you can use it for free without signing up with any information. I think maybe you can use it for like 3 or 4 projects before they prompt you to pay for it. So it's definitely something you can try out and see if you like before you have to buy it. But it's really low cost. I think when I paid for it, it was like $20 a year subscription. I feel it's really low cost for, I feel like, the value you get out of it. So I just wanted to show that because I've been using it a ton. So yeah, that's Markup R-XP. Okay, let's move into crochet and knitting. I did do a little bit of crochet this week, so I'll start with that. I am making the Battenberg blanket by Sandra Paul, and I am using an advent calendar that I got from Ruby and Roses last Christmas as my contrast color to the Battenberg blanket. It's like a checkerboard type of pattern. So I have like a neutral and then all the bright fun colors. So far I have crocheted up 9 of my mini skeins from my advent out of the 24 that I have. So I'm about a third or a little over a third of the way through with my contrast colors. It has definitely been a slower project just because I don't feel like crocheting quite as often as I do with like my knitting. So whenever I feel like crocheting, I get it out. I do, you know, one of my mini skeins. And so that's what I did yesterday. And I'll just hold up a couple of the squares for you. They're so pretty. I really love this color. I do not remember the name of it. They were all named, but who knows? So I was able to get a full 9 squares out of this little mini skein, and I have just been storing them all in this little like bag that the mini skein came in, which I think is super fun. I'm gonna mix them up and make them random when I actually put it together, but for some reason I've just been enjoying keeping all my little random Battenberg squares together. Yeah, I have all my notes on my Ravelry page. I'm trying to remember. I think I'm using a 3mm crochet hook to make this project, and just sock weight, fingering weight yarn. I have my neutral picked out. It's a Madeline Tosh sock yarn that is just like a really pretty soft medium gray that I think will go well with all the really bright colors, but I haven't even broken into it yet because I told myself crochet all of your contrast colors first, because the way the blanket gets put together is you make all of your neutral squares and use those to join all of the contrast colors. Like you do a join as you go type of method. So I'm really trying to push myself to just do all the contrast colors first and then start with the neutral. And that does mean that the only thing I'm going to be crocheting at the end is neutral yarn, but it's to attach all the colors. So I think it'll still be fun whenever I get to that point, because obviously I started this in December of 2023 and I'm only a third of the way through these contrast colors and it is now July, but you know, whatever. It's still very fun to work on. It's just going to be a long-term project. Okay, and then I have 2 knitting projects to share this week. And first up is going to be my mom's Christmas socks. Do I know where a sock blocker is? If y'all could see this table, honestly, it is always in need of cleaning, and today it is extra bad. Oh, I do have a sock blocker. I really need to buy some like cute wooden ones instead of this like crazy plastic, but whatever, they work. Okay, look at that. We have one completed Christmas sock for Mom. I think I was just on the toe last week, so I was very close to finishing. So I was able to get this finished up last Sunday night, and I got the second sock started. And here's where we're at with the second sock. So I'm about halfway down the leg, and yeah, I brought this with me. I went and got my nails done, or I got a pedicure yesterday morning, and so I brought this with me and was able to get, you know, about 20-ish rows of the leg done, which was great progress. I really wanted to be able to get down to the heel, but I only had literally an hour in the pedicure chair, so why did I think I was going to be able to knit a whole leg of a sock in an hour? I don't know. So you can see I have maybe I have about 15 more rows to knit before I can start the heel, but yeah, hoping to have a completed set done in maybe the next week or two. We'll see. Mom's not in any rush. These were a gift for her for Mother's Day, where I let her pick some sock yarn, but they are technically Christmas socks, so, you know, we're not in any rush. What else did I want to say? I'm knitting these on a size 1.5 needle. I'm using the Crazy Sock Lady's Vanilla Magic Loop sock pattern. She does have a tutorial video on that if you're interested. And the sock yarn is from Bird Street Yarns. It's a self-striping, like a little micro striping yarn, and I love it. So those are my socks. Oh, and also, since I'm going to be showing knitting like weekly, sometimes I might only make, you know, a few rows of progress. I kind of want to keep track with progress markers, and I do have a few. This one, can we see it? It's like a teeny tiny PB&J slice. Adorable. I'm actually going to put this on my socks. That way next week, if and when I show these again, we'll see how much progress I've made. I already put one on my next project I'll show you. I was on top of that last week, but let me add one to the sock. Okay, so now we'll know next week how far I've made it on my sock. Okay, the last bit of crafting, or the last project that I worked on this week was my Cumulus Tee by Petite Knit. And I did spend a bunch of time on this week, and it just feels never ending. It's a fingering weight t-shirt on size 2.75 needles. So it feels never ending, but I have really made some progress and it is getting there. I am knitting this project with Knitting for Olive Cotton Merino, and it's the color Coral, which I think might be discontinued now, but it is such a pretty pink. They have a new pink though called Strawberry Milkshake that I am obsessed with, and I'm like, I kind of want to buy like a sweater, you know, or a project's quantity of, but I'm like, I'm knitting this in Coral. Like, am I really gonna knit another pink cotton merino project? Maybe. I don't know. Yes, I did take some video of me wearing this that I can share with you, and maybe some pictures. I'll show you my progress because I did add a progress keeper. So where you see this adorable little pink strawberry pop on this red stitch marker, that is where I was last time I showed it to you. So I was able to make maybe 2 or 3 inches, maybe about 3 inches of progress over the last week. I was trying to set a goal of doing 10 rows on the body every day. And that is just like 3 or 4 hours of knitting, to be honest. And it's because it's just so many stitches on such tiny needles that I was like, okay, pump the brakes. Let's do 5 rows a day. And that still feels like a lot of knitting to do every day, but I've been able to keep up with it. So, I think as a stretch goal, I could possibly have the body of this done by next weekend if I can keep up 5 rows a day until next weekend, because we're getting close. We only have a few inches left of the body to knit. So yeah, that's kind of my stretch goal, because I would really like to wear this. I want to see like how this feels as like a summer garment in a place where it is 100 degrees and a little bit humid. Obviously if I was going to be like outside for long periods of time, this is not probably what I'd wear, but just like, you know, to go run errands and to go to work and stuff. Like, I really am excited to see how this feels and how, you know, if I'm comfortable wearing it. So yeah, I'm also excited to see how it blocks and washes and just all the things. This is kind of an experimental project because this is the first time I've used cotton merino yarn on tiny needles, this type of pattern. Like, it's just, I don't know. I'm just very excited about it, and I am really hoping this works out. But so far, I really love the way it's fitting. So as long as it doesn't grow too terribly much in blocking, that's one thing I'm a little bit worried about, is how much this is going to stretch out, but we will find out. Yeah, so that is my Cumulus Tee. So those were all my crafty updates. So let's do a quick check-in with Mom and see what she's been up to for the last few months. Okay. Hi everyone. I have a very special guest with me today for our very first guest segment. I don't know. I still don't really know what the whole episodes are going to look like, but today we have a very special guest.
Hi.
Want to introduce yourself for anyone new here?
I'm Elizabeth's mom. My name is Sissy, and I think I looked back and it's been about 7 months.
7 months
Since we filmed together. So yeah, if you're new in the last 7 months, I'm her mom. So.
Yes, and her big exciting news. How long has it been since you retired? A few months?
6 months.
6 months since she retired, and she's been...
wait. Well, yeah, 6 months.
Okay, and she's been very busy. Tell us all the various places you've been since you retired.
Yeah, so we've been doing a lot of traveling. We went to Dubai in February. We went to Europe in April. We went to Las Vegas, and you came on that trip.
I was there.
In May. And then in June, we went to Grand Cayman. So, yeah, we've been going as much as we can and continue to do that. I have a couple more trips on the books. Next week, we're going down to the coast with the grandkids. So, yeah, just really making the most out of retirement.
Woohoo!
So...
Okay, well, Mom has been crafting a ton since she retired, and we have some cross stitch and a big old pile of quilts to show you guys. Yeah. So let's see what Mom's been working on.
Okay, so finish first?
Sure, whatever you want to start with.
So the first thing is this finish. And I don't think I was working on it whenever I was on the last time.
No, I think I gave this to you. When was this? Was it before
I think
retreat?
you gave it to me at the retreat with my retreat bag.
Okay.
That you made for me.
So this is a Twin Peak Primitives kit that somebody had really kindly gifted me, and I passed it to Mom to see if she wanted to stitch, and she stitched it up and finished it.
Yeah, that was my first sampler to finish.
Yeah. So this was, everything came with a called for flosses, right? Like it had everything in it.
Some over-dyed flosses in the kit. I couldn't find the picture of the kit, but it's called the Cardinal Sampler.
I'll find a picture and put it on the screen for everybody. But yeah, by Twin Peak Primitives, and I just really like
the color, the red and the border.
What is do you know what the floss was? Was it a DMC variation?
No, it was something I'd never heard of.
Okay.
But
it looks beautiful.
Yeah, it was really pretty floss.
Yeah.
So anyway, I like that.
And this is like a 28 count Monaco probably?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a piece you had given to me.
Oh, okay.
In a little tube.
Oh, yeah, it's Monaco, I'm sure.
Sorry, I'm not good with the names.
That's okay. Okay, so pretty. What's next?
Okay, so the next one is the Scattered
Seed Samplers, Skeptical Gathering, I think we decided it was called, Skeptical Gathering. This was also a club kit that somebody had gifted me. I can't remember what the club kit was from, but it was it's from 2020. And so Mom ended up stitching it up.
Yeah, trying to get out.
I know.
So it'll focus on. And then this is what I've gotten done so far.
I'll block our faces with it so it can focus.
So it's getting close.
Yeah, you're almost done. This is a 36 count?
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm 36 or 40, I don't know.
With one strand?
With one strand.
How has it been stitching on it?
Oh, it's been great. I love the feel of the fabric.
Yeah. I love one strand stitching.
Yeah, it's actually a kit. I've got all the other finishing supplies.
Yeah, and it came with was it DMC, or they were all just loose threads,
They
right?
were all loose.
Yeah, it was like the pre-measured floss strands. Oh, yeah. Okay, I think they're DMC colors. So this is kind of what the kit looked like.
Yeah.
So pretty. So all the called for, and she's almost done with it.
Yeah.
So pretty.
Okay, and then the next one, I think I showed this one last time, is the Vanity Sampler by Liz Matthews.
Yes.
And that one I kind of got in a fight with because I messed up the border several times. And so...
Did you fudge it, or did you take it out?
No, I unpicked it, and then I messed up on the placement of this big giant tree right here. And I had to rip out this whole thing.
Oh my gosh.
So that's why this one has not had as much progress. But we made up, and I'm back working on it.
People who are doing this in goth colors?
No.
Oh my gosh.
But isn't it so pretty? So this is the first sampler I started. And obviously it's not finished yet. But
oh wow.
It's coming along.
And so this one is on 36 count fabric. I remember because I gifted you the fabric.
Yeah.
I know it's fiber on a whim, but I can't think of what the color is. You don't remember, do you? Oh
I do not.
It's so pretty. So Mom's doing all the called for, is it DMC? Or are they fancy, over-dyed flosses?
No, they're DMC.
DMC. Oh, yeah, because I think it called for silk, but then we used the DMC conversion.
The DMC conversion, yeah.
Yeah, with one strand. And it is so pretty.
Yeah, I can't wait to get it done. And then I'm going to have Dad make me a custom frame
for it. So my dad texted me the other day. There's a furniture shop in South Austin that does furniture making classes. And so he signed us up. Me and my dad signed up to do a frame making class. So they teach you how to make a floating canvas frame in a 2-hour, 3-hour class. So we're going to try that at the end of July, which I'm very excited about.
Yeah, he was reading all the different, furniture items, and I'm like, no, I don't want that. I don't want that.
Oh, what other kind of stuff can they make?
Oh, all kinds of furniture and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's some really detailed classes. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
But when he said frames, I was like, yes.
Yes, learn how to make frames.
I have a need for that. That's useful.
Yeah.
You know.
Instead of just endless end tables.
That we have no room for.
Oh my gosh. So pretty.
Yeah, so,
Yay.
so that's all the cross stitch I've been working on. I think last time I had the Christmas ornaments that I was working on, but I haven't really picked those up again.
Yeah.
So the
All right.
next...
Let's move on to quilts.
So this is the first quilt top that I finished. Hasn't been quilted yet, but
Your first retirement quilt
my
top?
first retirement quilt top, and it is.
Here, we don't have to unfold the whole thing. We'll
Yeah.
put in pictures too.
But it's a Denise Schmidt kit that I bought, and it's called Sunshine, I think is the pattern.
It's
quilt
just big
pattern.
half square triangles, right?
It's big half square triangles you do with a 10-inch layer cake of this fabric line. That I'm drawing a blank on the name of the fabric.
I don't remember. I'll put it on the
Bonnie
screen.
maybe.
Okay.
Or something. And then I had this bright yellow Tula pink backing that I'm going to do for the back of it in my stash. So.
Do you have plans to quilt that, or are you just that's on the
It's on
waiting?
the list whenever
Yeah.
I need something to add more time.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's hasn't. But that was the first one I finished, and then let me look at my list here because most of the others have
been
gone.
gifted.
Have been gifted. So I did another blue and white sawtooth star quilt that's kind of beachy themed for our cousin that lives at the beach.
So cute.
And I tried something I'd been seeing on Instagram where you get, like at Costco or Sam's, they have these great big huge really soft blankets and that are kind of like the cuddle backing.
Oh, so that's what you used? I didn't
And
even
that's what I
realize.
used. And my youngest grandson claimed it as his, and so I finally got it away from him and put it in a box, and I need to take it to the post office next week. But he was like, "This is my quilt, Gigi," and he would not relinquish it. So
That cuddly backing, I'm sure.
that cuddly backing, yeah. So I made that one. And then I made a baby quilt using your picnic patchwork pattern.
Yes, that's right.
And some greens for a coworker, and I actually used that same backing on it, so I quilted them side by side at the long arm, and had enough of that backing left over. I pieced it all together, and I have enough to make Ben a smallish,
good.
bigger than a baby quilt, but you know, like a lap size adult quilt for Ben. So he'll have some of his soft, cuddly quilt backing, and then I finished a quilt for Ellen for her 30th birthday.
So cute. Yeah, we have pictures. I think we have pictures of all of these.
Yeah.
So we'll put them up on the screen. But yeah, my cousin Ellen just turned 30, and so Mom made her a really pretty quilt for her birthday.
Yeah, I had the fabric. I mean, after I talked to her about what color she wanted, I bought this Ruby Star Society fabric called Vessel. Because it had the colors that she wanted. But then I didn't know what pattern I was going to do, and it was a layer cake. And so I did a vertical diamond pattern quilt for her dad.
Do you know the pattern name?
It's called Scintillation on Connecting Threads.
Okay,
website.
I'll link to it in the description box because I think people have been asking me when I shared photos in my stories and stuff about the quilt pattern. So yeah, it's really
I'll
cool.
send you a link to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did hers horizontal instead of vertical. So Molly said that she always stole Loy's quilt when she came to town. So
that's
like,
good.
Well, I know maybe she likes the pattern. Maybe she just likes because his was super long.
Yeah.
And then out of a couple of the leftovers, I made a little small pouch like you had made me.
Oh, like the little
Trixie pouch.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a picture of that. I'll send you.
Okay.
And then I did another t-shirt memory quilt for my niece and just gave her that last week. And then Sarah, one of my other daughters, asked for a 4x6 pouch for her purse to put stuff in.
Yeah, that's right.
So I made her a little pouch out of some scraps that we had from her previous projects. And then I was cleaning up a little bit in my craft room, not a lot, and found these scraps from a Madeline quilt I had made. Kay Fassett and Lori Holt, the crosses. So I put that together.
Cute. And you used one of the fun chunky zippers.
I used one of your zippers.
I love these zippers.
That I borrowed and never gave back.
They're just very cheap on Amazon. I'll link them, but they're so like colorful and funky and fun for
great.
projects.
Yeah.
And they're really smooth, nice to use zippers.
So and then I had the back. This was actually the backing fabric for the Madeline quilt.
Oh, cool! So it's just like a little baby Madeline quilt.
Baby Madeline quilt, and then this binding was from Molly's.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know what I put inside. Oh, I put the binding inside.
If anyone is looking for like just one of the easiest, quickest, and I feel like really pretty like jelly roll quilt, the Madeline quilt that Mom and I have both made. I made it last summer, and then you made it shortly after.
Yeah, I've made two.
Highly recommend. I will link it below if anyone needs a good jelly roll quilt. It is a paid for pattern. It's not free, but it's something you can use over and over again.
Yeah, I'm actually using that same pattern in making a family tree quilt.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I think I showed that last time,
Yes.
but it's a Kay Fassett fabric that has like trees in it. It kind of, if you squint, it kind of looks like a tree. So I'm cutting it strategically, and every other row is kind of offset.
Yeah.
So we'll see. That's, what the plan is. We'll see what it looks like when it comes to fruition. And then the last quilt that I don't have a picture of yet,
we'll take one,
is a Trip Around the World quilt.
We'll open it up like this for now.
That I made for Isla and her sister. I made a blue one with blue backing, so this one has pink.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
And that's her favorite color. Her sister has the blue one.
Oh, I want it. I'm gonna be Ben.
Yeah. Oh, Ben's already tried it out.
Has he? Okay.
Oh, yeah. So, and I used, luckily they make you take a picture of your quilting pattern at the quilting studio. So I just pulled up what I did for Sophia's quilt because it's the same size and said,
oh my gosh, the hot pink binding is perfect with it.
Yeah, and this isn't even the same fabric line. This
but
is
it looks great.
Riley Blake.
And look, she quilted it with hot pink thread. Oh my gosh, that looks so good.
Isn't that cute?
And then on the backing, you can see that it's like these big round flowers. I think they're called ginger flowers. That's like the name of the pantograph, right?
I don't remember.
I think it's ginger flowers.
Yeah, I just love it. It's,
it's so nice.
It's fun.
Yeah.
So there's that. And like I said, all the other ones I've already sent away. And then I do have, I've had a lot of haul. It's been real. It's been 7 months.
But she brought some new fun haul.
Some new fun haul. So,
how did you find this pattern?
I think it was an ad on Instagram.
Okay. The Instagram ads get us all.
Yeah. So, there is this Kay Fassett mystery quilt along that starts July 25th. And they're selling the packages of the fabric right now. And
I'll put pictures up on the screen so you don't have to hold it up if you don't want to.
Okay. But this is, they call it Puzzle 1. It's just section 1 of the quilt. So there's 7 sections. All of these.
With all the fabrics that you need to complete each section.
Stuff. And there's 2 colorways that they're doing. This one is the multi colorway, and then there's a Delft, a blue colorway. And they even have backing that you can buy. Yeah. Specifically for each one. I need to go buy that before it sells out. Yeah. Because I had a hard time finding this. I actually found it in Georgetown at a new quilt shop that I had never shopped at before. You can see
some of the like different colors. Actually, there's a...
This one's open. You think?
Yeah, you want to open it? Yeah, this one has like the pinks and stuff in it. Oh yeah, so pretty. All beautiful Kay Fassett fabrics.
Yeah, I just love his fabric. So this one looks like a lot of blues and greens and some pink in there. I don't know. I know it's going to be beautiful. He did this multi-colorway design the pattern.
His sample.
His. I think each colorway has a different pattern. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so.
And you were able to find this at a local quilt store in Georgetown?
Quilt store in Georgetown.
What's the name of that one?
It is called, let me get the packaging here, I think. Oh, it's called Poppy Quilt and Sew, Georgetown.
I've never even heard of that place.
I hadn't heard of it either because I was on the website for Kay Fassett looking to see who carried it. And, you know, that shopping center when you turn to go to Uncle Kent's house off of Williams, it's in there.
Oh, okay. Was it a cool quilt store? Do they have other good
yeah.
stuff? Okay, well, we need to go up there.
Yeah, we need to go again.
Any locals? Let me know if you've been to Poppy Quilt and Sew.
Yeah, that's where I got this binding.
Okay,
Because
cool.
I knew that the hole punch dot fabric, this quilt fabric line, was old enough that I wasn't going to find that.
Yeah.
So I found this one. And you can't really tell, but it's like a tone on tone firework.
No, but it looks like perfect. This hot pink with this is so good.
Yeah, no, I just love it, and it's so soft. But yeah, I've got...
And exciting, you're going to be able to give it to its recipient in...
Yeah, tomorrow.
Tomorrow! Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, so my sister Lynn and her kids are going to be here tomorrow. Very exciting.
I know. They'll be staying with me.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah. But yeah, so I hope she likes it, and, you know, if she doesn't, Ben will take it, so...
Oh my gosh. Isla is a fickle princess, but I'm sure she'll love it.
Yes, I'm sure she will. She won't leave it
No.
behind, that's for sure. Even if she gives me a hard time, she'll still take it. So.
No.
Anyway, so yeah.
All right. Well, that is what Mom has been crafting for these past 7 months, or just a little taste of it. I'm sure there's other things you've been up to, but
This is all I could quickly gather together. But
Yes.
you know, with traveling, it cuts into my crafting
I know.
time.
I know. I really, really appreciate you being on my first episode of the untitled ElizabethAnnCanStitch new YouTube series. I still haven't named it. I don't know what I'm calling this. I don't know. I just had been thinking a couple weeks ago about like, why am I not enjoying filming as much? And it's because I feel like I have to like separate everything out, you know? And that's why I was like, well, I don't have to do that. I was like, let's just go back to the old everything in one place format. So yeah. Did you enjoy my last video, my clickbait video?
I was like, wait, she would have told me if she was going to stop filming before she put it out.
I would have,
there.
yeah. It was the last floss tube, not the last video. So.
Gotcha. I gotcha.
But anyways, all right. Well, thanks for joining me.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
All right.
Thanks for catching up.
We'll see you
with
later.
everybody.
Bye. Thank you so much for joining me, Mom. I hope you guys enjoyed that little catch up with her and her crafts. She is a very busy lady, always traveling, so I managed to wrangle her in here, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Oh, hello, it is me, Liz of the future, who is editing this video and realized she forgot to announce the giveaway winners. So in my last video, I announced a giveaway for 4 $25 Etsy gift cards. So I am going to pull the winners using the random comment generator, and I will put the 4 winners here on screen. You can find my email address in the description box below. Please just send me an email and I will confirm you are who you say you are, and I will get a gift card sent to you immediately. So yay, congrats to all the winners. And now back to the rest of the video. This next segment, again, I don't have a fun title for it yet, but it's basically the Happy Mail segment. What has showed up in my P.O. box? What have people sent? And I have 2 fun things. The first fun things is something my mom and dad sent me. As you may have heard in our earlier segment, my mom and dad went to the Cayman Islands recently, and actually one of my sisters went with them. And there is a place in Cayman called Grand Cayman. Or Hell Cayman Islands. I think it's in Grand Cayman though. And so they sent me a postcard from Hell. So thanks, Mom and Dad. That was fun to get in the mail this week. I also got a fun package from the FatQuarterShop, who gifted me some of their new items, and I wanted to share a few because they're really fun. And there's some quilty goodies and some cross-stitch goodies. I'm going to show you the cross-stitch stuff first. There is a new set of stitch cards by Lori Holt, and they are very fun, kind of summer, patriotic, quilty themed. So this is the Stitch Cards Set U, new by It's So Emma. And then they have a new June sailboat. This is part of their monthly shelf life series. And this is super cute. I really like this. And then they have another new Lori Holt pattern called Hometown Neighborhood Beehive House. So I'm not sure if this is a series or not, but this is so pretty. And it just really looks like her quilt fabric. Like, I think that's kind of how she does a lot of her cross stitch, is based on her fabrics and her quilts. Super pretty. And then they have a new Simply sign for summer called Berry. So pretty. And who doesn't love strawberry, watermelon, and all that theming for summer? I love it. So that's the new cross stitch stuff. And then on the quilt side, they have this new Kim Deal pattern. I was showing this to my mom. I told her I had to keep it for the video, but I think she might take this and use it for a quilt for my nephew Ben. Ooh, Mom, I just noticed there's jelly roll strips in it too. It's not just solids. This is really cute. It's a new pattern from Kim Deal. It's called Hidden Stars. And it looks like a really simple but like clever pattern. It looks like you used some jelly roll strips and some snowball corners, and yeah, very cool. And then, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this. They sent me a new quilt book they have called The Strawberry Garden. This is by Joanna Figueroa of Fig Tree Quilts, and I think published by It's So Emma for Fat Quarter Shop. Absolutely gorgeous. It's a sampler of the month, like, or quilt block of the month type program, but then they also show alternate layouts in here to use the blocks in other ways. So obviously you get all the instructions to do this really cool sampler quilt, but you also can just use these blocks in the book to make like whatever kind of pattern you want. I'll show you an example of one I really like. Yeah, so it's called like Companion Quilts and Pillows section. Okay, this one's my favorite. It's called Geese in the Garden Quilt. Let me cover up the instructions, but isn't that so pretty? I love it. It's like simple 4-patch, but then with like a little complicated kind of almost like an Irish chain setting. So pretty. I'm really obsessed with this book and I think Mom wants a peek at it too. So it will get some love over here. I will have links for everything down in the description box. Thank you so much, Fat Quarter Shop, for sending me some of your new stuff. This next segment would be where I show you all my haul. I was gonna call it something like I've been shopping. I don't know. All these names, TBD. But to be honest, I haven't bought any craft supplies this week. That feels crazy, but yeah, I don't have any haul. I was trying to think about like what stuff has come in the mail this week, because like, believe me, stuff has come in the mail, but it's all been like clothes and cat toys. Jonesy is like, Jonesy is our big orange cat, and he is a wild man and he needs constant entertainment. And so we got this thing on Amazon. It's like, it looks like an octopus, and it's got a head on top of it that like rotates around with a laser pointer that he loves a laser pointer. So it rotates around and shines this laser pointer all over the floor for him to chase. And then in the little like tentacles, like a little like feather will pop out like a whack-a-mole. And so far so good. He's obsessed with it. He played with it for hours yesterday. So that was like the big exciting purchase that came this week. I mean, it was like $30. It wasn't that big of a purchase, but like it was needed because God, Jonesy he needs so much attention and so much playtime, and hopefully his new little octopus friend will help him out with that. Yeah, okay. I think that's where we're gonna leave it for today. I'll see you next weekend, guys. Thanks so much for catching up with me. Bye.